We're so thankful to have Mark here with us today to answer some questions about his military service as well as his faith. Hey Mark, tell us a little bit about your faith journey.
I would say my faith journey began as a young man, growing up in a family that didn't have a strong Christian background, but we did attend church. So when I moved to Springfield, Illinois, and began a family, I decided that being a part of a church was important, and it would certainly give my family and my children a very stronger Christian orientation than what I had growing up. And as I spoke with friends in the area, I learned about Southside Christian Church. We began attending the church and realized that there were a lot of people here that we knew, and we felt very comfortable in the church, and became members of a small group. And I think through the attendance at church and the feeling at ease around the people and the style here at the church and through the small groups, it helped grow my faith and enhance my journey, which is obviously not complete.
What branch of the military did you serve in, and what rank have you attained?
I joined the Illinois Army National Guard when I was 17 as a private in the infantry. Well, 28 years later, I'm now a lieutenant colonel in the Illinois Army National Guard. I've had 3 commands. I've been a staff officer. I've deployed to Afghanistan, and it's been a great career. I have about 3 years left, and then I will be retiring from the military.
So you mentioned that you went to Afghanistan. How long ago was that?
I was in Afghanistan from 2008 to 2009. I was the Inspector General for Combined Joint Task Force Phoenix, which had 7,000 men and women in it from all different branches of service. And my job was to make sure that those service members were being cared for, and that standards were being met, and that all of the various things that our service members need to be able to engage with and fight the enemy and sustain themselves were being provided for them. My experience in Afghanistan gave me an opportunity to do what I really like to do, which is helping take care of soldiers and making sure that their needs are being met and that they're able to perform their job. And also by doing that, families know back home that the military is looking out for their loved ones.
Tell me about Afghanistan and what it was like for you to be away from family, to be situated in a combat zone.
Being away from family and being in Afghanistan was tough. You prepare yourself to go to a place like that knowing that you very well may not come home. You have to accept that your life and everything is in God's hands, which we should accept every day. We should recognize that. We should be aware of that. But a time in a combat zone when you're surrounded by people who want to kill you and uncertainty, and seeing comrades who don't make it, it just really kind of solidifies in your mind that it is all in God's hands. Every time you traveled by airplane or by vehicle, you didn't know if you were going to come back from that, because you knew that previous missions, service members had been killed, and so there was always that uncertainty. In fact, there were times when I was on convoys when I fully expected that we would be hit by an ambush or improvised explosive device, and I just wondered what vehicle it would be and what friends of mine were in certain vehicles in the convoy.
All right, Mark, now the hard question. How do you live in the tension between following Jesus and being an American, especially when the two are in conflict with one another?
I believe in values, and I believe that we should be a values-based country. I think we're lacking in that in many ways. Fortunately, in the United States military and in the Army specifically, we are a values-based organization. And there are times in your military service, as you navigate your path, that you find conflict between your beliefs, your religious beliefs, and your military obligations and your service, and the things that we see on TV and the news reported, and the behavior that we see displayed by service members, and the things that occur. And I think it's those times that causes us to really reflect on what is the right thing to do, and what would God expect of us, and how should we behave. And that's the example that Christians in uniform should set for others to follow.
How do you reconcile the differences between your commitment to Christ and your commitment to country?
I believe in values, and I believe that we should be a values-based country. I think we're lacking in that in many ways. Fortunately, in the United States military and in the Army specifically, we are a values-based organization. And there are times in your military service, as you navigate your path, that you find conflict between your beliefs, your religious beliefs, and your military obligations and your service, and the things that we see on TV and the news reported, and the behavior that we see displayed by service members, and the things that occur. And I think it's those times that causes us to really reflect on what is the right thing to do, and what would God expect of us, and how should we behave. And that's the example that Christians in uniform should set for others to follow.
Oftentimes people have their priorities where it's country first, then God second, and then family third. Within the course of your military service, are there times where you feel that tension of having to put country first, or do you find yourself trying to make decisions based upon through that lens of God first?
Well, it's a balance of family, country, friends and jobs and community. It's God always. God is the umbrella that protects us and is over everything we do. And as a service member, I cannot serve without the support of my family and without the support of my community, my employer. But God is always there. That is the given, that if we do not have God in our lives to help us and give us that strength, we will not be successful. It's very important for a professional in the military to have faith. It's paramount.
Our nation has a tremendous potential for blessing others around the world. What are some of your best memories or fondest stories of how we as a country have blessed others?
I think that we have the best of intentions as a country to do good things places. Unfortunately, oftentimes we have to balance the good that we bring with the unfortunate harshness of our military service. And I've been in situations where I have been a part of a humanitarian relief to a village, bringing them school materials and food and backpacks and hope, and put smiles on their faces, because it's important that in the United States military we're able to show people that we can be good, that we can be kind, and we can be very humanitarian and very peaceful, but we can also be very tough. And so that is the very difficult balance.